The San Jose Sharks kick off a short road trip heading down to LA to face the Kings. Here's what you need to know.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network, we cover your team every day. And we continue our YouTube exclusive game previews where we're going to spend about 10 minutes discussing tonight's Sharks-Kings game. Of course, we're going to look at how these two teams stack up, what to watch for this game. But before we get to that, do have to look at how these teams are performing right now. Both teams coming off a Saturday night loss. The Sharks, of course, getting pounded by the Rangers 6-1. The Kings losing to the Maple Leafs 3-1. Both these teams right now looking for a win. So I think that is going to be a key thing in this game. These two teams have already, this is actually the last of the 4 matchups between these two teams this year. The Sharks 2-1 over the Kings this year, with their last game actually being played right around Thanksgiving. So it has been a while since these two teams played. The Sharks, of course, won 7-2 in that game, and then they also won 4-2 at the end of October. So it has been a while since these two teams have played, and of course, the Sharks are a much different team than what they were then. So let's dig into this matchup here. The Sharks 20-43-9. The Kings 40-23-9. The Sharks 2.60 goals for per game, 30th in the NHL. Goals allowed 3.69, very nice, last placed. 19.6% on the power play, 22nd. 74.5% on the PK, 27th. For the Kings, 2.86 goals for per game, 21st. Very surprising there. But goals allowed per game, 2.53, the second best team in the NHL. 16% on the power play, 28th. The PK rocking at 81.3, 8th in the NHL. Toffoli, of course, leads the Sharks with 27 goals. Ekman leads in assists with 37 and points, 54. Kempe in goals for the Kings, 29. Kopitar in assists, 39. And Kempe in total points with 58. The Kings defense, they're very much defense is cool, scoring is for nerds approach to hockey. They do not give up a lot defensively. They're second in 5-on-5 goals against, first in expected goals against, and 5th in shot attempts. You have to work for everything. Offensively, they're okay at driving shots. They're actually 6th in the NHL when it comes to shot attempts for, but don't score as many 5-on-5 goals. So Sharks are going to have to, work for their attempts in this game. Kings are currently 2nd in the division in point percentage, of course, behind the Vegas Golden Knights, and it feels very much like they're going to probably be 2nd and face Edmonton in the first round, because that's what we do. They're 10th in the NHL when it comes to point percentage. Power play, brutal power play, 28%. So how they stack up, Kuzmenko, Kopitar, and Kempe, the all-K line, Fiala, Byfield, and Lafayette. On the second line, Fogle, Deneau, and Moore on the third. Malat, Hellenius, and Lewis on the fourth line. Anderson, Doughty, Gavrik, and Spence, Edmondson, and Clark round out the defense. And then Kemper and big save Dave Ritchie in net. Kemper started on Saturday, so I assume it's going to be Ritchie for the Kings. So what to watch for in this actual game? Again, both these teams coming off a loss. The Kings here have lost actually 2 in a row. They have been very good, though, in the past 10, right? They've been 7-3-0 in their last 10 with wins against some of the bottom feeders here. They've won against in their last 10. They've won against the Islanders. They've won against Washington. That's a nice win there. Nashville. They lost against Minnesota, won against Chicago, won against Carolina. That's a nice win there. Won against Boston, won against the Rangers, and then lost against Colorado in Toronto. So they are very much right. This is a good time to kind of bank some points if you are the Kings. The Sharks definitely felt like they got a little higher on their own supply after getting, 2 nice wins against Boston and Toronto, and then getting spanked by the Rangers. So both these teams looking at this as a potential rebound, right? If the Sharks win this game, that's 3 out of 4, and you're feeling really good about yourself and potentially entering that fun, frisky phase that we've talked about with the Sharks, right? For the Kings, who, again, you're probably going to be the second team in the Pacific. You're going to be facing Edmonton in the first round of playoffs. But still, you want to start to continue to build heading into the playoffs here. So they're looking at this game as I don't want to say must win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with the same effort that we saw from the Rangers, right? The Rangers coming off a bad loss to the Ducks on Friday night. They came out, they tried to set the tempo, and they easily did. So that's going to be number one. Who in a sludge game, right? Both teams, second night of a back-to-back. The Sharks traveling from San Jose down to LA. Luckily, it's a short flight, but still, who can kind of set the tone early in a sludge game here? I think that's going to be go a long way, right? And we saw that with the Sharks, right? Rangers came out, they set the tone. The Sharks were never able to respond in that game, and then all of a sudden it gets out of hand. So how do you, if you're San Jose, can you set the tone early against a defensive team like the Kings? So that's the first thing to watch is who sets the tone, and if the Sharks can try to generate some offense against a very stout Kings defense. Second, the third line. Third line for the Sharks has been brutal and not an easy matchup tonight as they face the Kings. So the Kings definitely have an advantage on the bottom 6 here, right? And if you look at the top lines, it's fairly even, especially when it comes to scoring. Like the Kings don't have the top end scoring from both these teams very similar, like the Kings, 58 points from Kempe, 57 points from Kopitar, Vogel 40 points, Byfield 44. Like they don't have like that one dude that's just going to score a bunch of points, right? From the Sharks, you have Eklund, you have Celebrini, you have Toffoli, you have Will Smith, Wenberg, who, those guys are all kind of leading the way for the Sharks when it comes to scoring. So who could get some secondary scoring, I think is going to be huge. And the Sharks' third line has struggled recently. If they can get some secondary scoring from the bottom 6 here, that can go a long way for this Sharks team that again, it's going to be a tough matchup against the Kings. So which team can get secondary scoring from their bottom 6? And then the final thing to watch, the power play. Yes, the Sharks got a power play goal thanks to Cam Lund. Again, congrats, Cam Lund. But that first unit still has struggling, and you're facing a tough matchup against the LA Kings. Kings power play, not been good. Don't take dumb penalties. I'm looking at you, Ty Dellandrea, and Lucas Carlson. Don't take dumb penalties and give them opportunities. But I do think for the Sharks, though, if you do get a power play opportunity, you need to take advantage of it, and especially against this Kings team. So I have a feeling this is going to be a low-scoring, grind-it-out type of game, and I don't know if the Sharks are capable or equipped to win that type of game. I think this game ends up 3-1 Kings, but I will say I think we get a Will Smith goal. So 3-1 Kings. I think it's gonna be kind of a very gross, grindy, not pretty hockey style of game. So we'll break down this full game though on your next episode of Locked On Sharks, wherever you get podcasts. Of course, you can watch on YouTube as well.